Hi Vish, how are you doing?
Hi.
So
Hello.
today's video we're going to be talking.
I'm sorry, I just have to be unserious right now.
Okay,
I
we don't
don't
have to be
know.
serious. Cool. I don't care. It's fine. But you know how it goes, right? It's a feedback
I
video,
know,
basically.
I know, like our coaching sessions are also so unserious at times, which I really love because it doesn't have to be like, oh, let's always think meta constantly, like it was a
Yeah.
good balance. Like we were
Yeah.
getting it done, but we were also like having fun at it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So my first question is like, how was your life before the one-to-one coaching? What really like made you join the one-to-one together?
I think when we met like at BHX, I knew like we were vibing like really hard. And I mean I didn't know much about life coaching. Um like I knew of it, I didn't know how it worked. But then I think in like we stayed in touch and like after, BHX. And I think around Jan is when like I approached you.
Fair.
Um Feb, yeah. And I think I was going through this entire phase where I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like it's like, you you kind of like are put on this path that okay, graduate, get a job, or like do your own thing. I
Mhm.
always wanted to do my own thing. And like I think in between I was like pretty lost. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to do my own thing, but then I'm not able to, and I don't know why. I
Hmm.
think when we started our sessions, um, I had a decent idea of what I wanted to do with my life, you
Hmm.
know? But when it came to the present, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how I was going to get there. Um, and I remember doing like the whole vision board exercise and like,
Hmm.
with affirmations. And it was so much fun because a lot of times these thoughts are just in your head. When you put them on paper or like visually like put them, yeah, I think it had a lot to do with just feeling lost and how to go where I want to be, and like kind of crystallize that vision of mine as well and in the process.
Yeah, like your future vision, right? Like what you want to do long term also, and then what to do in the present short term. So, what would you say you gained out of the 6 months of coaching together? Like, what were your takeaways, and how is your life now?
I think I can't say it in like half an hour or like whatever time we have. There's so many things. But if I had to like sum it up into like three or four, key things that really changed for me, one was like a mindset shift. I know it's a very overused term and like this and that. But when it comes to how you approach life and how you see life differently in a more like empowered angle. And I'm not saying, that toxic positivity at all. Like, oh, life is shit. I'm still having fun. Yay. Like, it's not like think positive, think. It had nothing to do with that. And I knew instantly, like with you, it'll be like pretty chill.
Mm,
Um, like I'm gonna figure it out. Like, what's the big deal? You
mm,
know? So when it came to that mindset shift, I think that was like one domino effect that caused a lot of things. One was I think my routine came together and my consistency got a little better.
mm,
Uh, Literally quite better. Because I realized that like when it comes to these simple little things like routines and consistency, it's they sound simple, but they're really not. Like
mm,
if you have to remake everything from your routine to your, breaking old patterns, you're building new ones. So I think that was one of the major things that happened. Second was like when it came to, so I've been doing therapy um as well as life coaching. So I think that worked really great, like wonderfully for me, because like therapy was dealing with my past and my emotional baggage and like all of that. But okay, I'm going to come up with a metaphor because it just seems so apt. It was more about the baggage, and like um life coaching was more about like where I'm going to take my going towards my vacation with that new baggage that I was like
Mm.
pulling. I don't know, that was so cringe. But anyways, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it was more like dealing with your past and your baggage. And life coaching was more about like looking into the future, but still touching on the past. Like, hey, this is where you were, and now this is where you're headed. So I think it worked wonderfully. And honestly, I'm on some meds like mood stabilizers and stuff, antidepressants, and they reduced
Mhm.
during these 6 months. Um, I think that was the second biggest thing. And just overall, I think I started trusting myself more.
Mm.
And it sounds easy, but like it works like a domino, honestly. Like I started trusting myself more. I was like, okay, I've got cool ideas. And now I'm like on my way to build an app. And like um I started coaching. I mean, I started becoming a life coach. I'm in that process. I'm finishing the course. Um and then I kind of learned how to self-coach myself as well.
Mm.
So I think it was very empowering in general. It just made me realize I can trust myself more. I can bet on myself. I can start my own thing. I'm working on that literally like right now. Uh, Working on an app. Then I'm kind of like going to have coaches as my clients and
Mm.
help them build structures in their coaching
Yeah.
business because I understand business, I understand uh experience flow or like whatever you want to call it. I understand creativity. So it's like a lot of things come together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and your digital
yeah,
products that you've started building,
yeah,
templates.
yeah. So it's a lot to do with like I'm on my own mindset and it's fucking beautiful. Like and earlier it used to scare me. I'm not saying it doesn't anymore. It's just that how do I look at that fear has changed.
Yeah, no, but it makes sense. Like how you looked at the fears change, your mindset perspective, like your perspective on things have changed. You started gaining more clarity on your entrepreneurial part. You're now, your clients are coaches and you're helping them with certain templates to find structure in their creativity, which is something that you've always been passionate about. You're also on the way to creating your own app, which is amazing, right? So you're doing all the things, all the pieces have come together to like really like also using your strengths and your passions and actually
Yeah,
making a career out of that, right? So, what would you say worked best for you? Like, if you could just say one big takeaway from everything.
I think
Yeah,
trust, trust like within,
self-trust.
like in myself.
Okay.
Because if you trust yourself, I'm not saying it's an absolute thing. Like you'll always trust yourself. But the
Yeah.
more you trust yourself, the more confident you get. And the more confident you can get, you can take bigger risks. You can bet on yourself. You can do whatever the fuck you want with your life. And
Yeah.
it's like, when you're creating something new, whether it's a product or a business or an idea or project, whatever, if you're confident within, things just align, dude. Like it's not that hard. I mean, it is, but like it becomes easier. I started learning how to coach myself.
Yeah.
Like when things go down, earlier it was like, oh my God, chaos, like, oh my God, how I'm gonna figure it. I
Yeah.
still have these moments, but then after a bit, I'm able to pick myself up more easily, and I'm like, okay, let's look at it in this angle, or let's look at it in that angle. Because from a lot of like tools that you've shared and like things that we've spoken about, it's a lot to do with that.
Hmm.
Uh, so I think, I don't know, I just feel like these two things really sum it all up.
Yeah.
And also consistency for sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that really helps. Like having that routine really helps you with your wellness. And also, like when you came here, you were really struggling with the consistency. But over time, we focused on, okay, how do we do 3 times a week workouts? Like, even if it's
Me.
like burning some sort of calorie and not taking a run outside because of the weather or the traffic, like, how else can we keep it consistent, even with all these other blockages, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and how would you say overall you felt after the sessions as compared to the beginning of the session?
There were times when I would come and I was like all energy, like, like right
Yeah,
now I'm like thoughts are all over the place.
yeah,
Um, it was a good state to be in, but at the same time, my thoughts were all over the place. So during such sessions, I think I calmed down in a good way.
yeah,
Like I was able to think more rationally because sometimes when you're damn excited, you have all these emotions flying around.
Yeah.
Um, I think it would kind of center me if like center being feeling more centered and composed is the right word. Um, and there were times when I would be like little low on energy. I remember like there were days when I'm like, Pratna, can me like, no, just need to exist today. I think on those days where I just wanted to exist, um, I would definitely feel a little lighter because then there are all these thoughts in your head that are bogging you down. And when it comes to life coaching, it's like, we figured out a rational way out of those things while like respecting the emotions and feelings.
Hmm.
Um, so it felt easier to navigate such days after the session.
Hmm. Okay.
I know.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's nice to hear. And if, say, someone like, who would you recommend my one-to-one to? Who do you think would benefit from doing this one-to-one coaching with me?
I would definitely say like people who want to do their own thing, like whether you want to term it as a freelancer or an entrepreneur or just like whatever. Um, People who want to do their own shit, like people who like being their own boss. We don't have the tools at times to make our own path. Like
Mm,
we want to get there, but then how? So I think this entire like 6 months with you overall, like it just made me realize that yeah, I have the tools.
mm.
It's not like um, we sometimes feel like, oh, I'm lost. How am I going to figure it out? But
Yeah,
now I'm kind of like, yeah, I have the tools to figure shit out.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
And if someone was on the edge of making this decision of the one-to-one coaching, like what would you say to them?
So I'll tell you personally, I was a little on the fence before like our coaching because of the price.
Mm,
Being completely honest here right now.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I already knew you before. You were already my friend, so I didn't have to think too much. But I can still understand like why some people might be a little like apprehensive. But the thing about like uh life coaching is that like there are some tangible results and there are some intangible, you know, like feeling more clear is an intangible thing. How do you define it? Like, it's intangible. But when it comes to routine or consistency that really helped me, it's tangible. I can see that I've figured out my own flow, my own routine,
Mm,
how to just, you know, um, keep myself going without being too hard on myself. So that's tangible. Um, and some people think like, even I thought it was a little steep in the beginning, but now I see why. I mean, because I've got so much out of it. It's
mm,
like, can you really put a price on breaking old patterns and building new ones? Like,
mm,
I don't think I can. Like,
mm.
certain things are just like you can't put a price on. And if you really had to think on the terms of like money and like you've invested a certain amount into life coaching and the return you will get is little later, but like it'll be so much more because
Mm.
you set yourself up for like with like tools or like whatever that'll help you be productive. You've got clarity. You've got like a lot of things going on.
Like the price is an issue, it's kind of also kind of showing you that you're not fully ready to take a bet on yourself or to prioritize this growth. And also because maybe you haven't invested in a coach before. So if it's the first time
Yeah,
investing in a coach, it's because you really, really don't know what you're getting into, that fear of uncertainty comes in. But like once I started investing in one coach, like till now, I've invested in 7 coaches in the past 2 years. So now that I've invested in my seventh coach, it was so much easier for me to invest in her because I've seen how the return of investment is like incomparable to how much I've invested in the past. And so now I'm
yeah,
just more ready to like, I would rather save up and invest in coaching than invest in like a bag or a shoe or something. But that's just me, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, I have friends. Like I remember recommending her to you, like
mm,
whatever. Like I had spoken to this friend of mine. She
okay.
was going through this phase where she was like, she quit her job and she was like, I want to do my own thing. And I was like, I'll connect you to Pratnan. I don't know whether she reached out or no. But I think she was apprehensive because of the price.
Hmm.
She's like, why are you paying so much?
Yeah.
You can do this on your own. Just watch some YouTube videos. I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
YouTube's not gonna tell you how to like, is not gonna hold you accountable. It's not
Yeah.
gonna suggest the right things for you. There's no connect.
Yeah.
Like y- you can literally become like you can literally read and study through entire Harvard's course on YouTube if you want, like whatever they teach. But
Yeah.
do you still know?
Yeah, the money is like having skin in the game also, even from their end, right? Like when someone else gives you money, it's like they're going to be committed, they're going to be punctual, they're going to come on time,
Yeah,
they're going to do the home play, they're going to work on
yeah,
themselves, they're actually going to be committed to you. But when it's cheaper, you're wasting both of, like, I feel like I'm wasting my time and the other person's wasting the time because I started with a really cheap price. And
yeah.
people would show up late. My time would just be wasted. I'd be waiting on calls. Even when they came, the home play, like a lot of times they just didn't do it. So I felt like they weren't growing and I wasn't benefiting at all. Right. So it was just like now after I started increasing my price and I have increased it over the months, like even after we worked together, like I increased it. It's been so much better because I'm actually getting people who are so much more committed and who are
Ready to bet
prioritizing
on
their
themselves.
business. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I moved to entrepreneurs who are prioritizing their business, who see their business as like the number one priority right now in order to grow it. Because in the beginning
yeah,
stages and the early stages, it's really tough and there's a lot of mindset blocks that come. And
yeah,
I've
100%.
dealt with that myself. So I was like, this is something I want to help with.
Coach Elisa, like from the Mind Valley, she was talking about, she's a life coach and a business coach. And she was talking about one of her clients, and she was um saying that this this guy came, this entrepreneur, he came up, he was founder of some amazing startup in the US. And I can't remember the name, but anyways, um, he was like, my profits are going down and this and that with his business. And when they really dive deep like into the problem, it was more of a personal life coaching related situation, that
Yeah.
he wasn't able to give enough time at home, or with balancing energy like
Oh,
between home and like work. So when he figured that balance out, his company started making money again. So it was
okay.
it was more of a mindset block, or like what you said, it was a uh,
It was a
personal.
personal, yeah,
Yeah,
personal time issue.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Money issues never a money issue. There's always something deeper was what I've realized. There's definitely
100%.
something deeper.
Like people are ready to spend the same amount they'll spend on a coach for a month. They'll spend it on shopping and like food and like clothes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that is it. That's all you need to spend
yeah,
on yourself
yeah,
instead
that's
of like other shit. Like I
yeah,
mean, yeah, shopping helps, but still.
yeah. And yeah, again, like I always like have this mindset that my clients are resourceful. There have
Yeah,
been coaching containers where clients have taken a loan to get into the coaching. They've taken loans, dude. That means they actually don't have money. Like they're
yeah,
actually
yeah,
broke. And they're
yeah,
taking a loan
yeah.
because they want to change their life that much. Like they're so desperate for change or for transformation that they're willing to take a loan for this. So yeah, it's about how desperate are you for transformation, for quantum leaping, for a different life, for a better life, for better living or
Yeah,
better business,
yeah.
whatever your niche is.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, thank you so much for being here and thank you for answering all the questions. I had a great time coaching you
Anytime.
for the past 6 months and I hope to see you
Uh-huh.
soon.
Same, same, same. But
Okay.
anyways, thanks a lot. It's been amazing
Okay.
working with
I'm really
you.
glad. I'm really glad.
Yeah,
Okay. Take
yeah.
care. See you.
Bye, Pookie.
Bye. Bye.